Hey, today we are prepping stuff for Thanksgiving tomorrow. I know Thanksgiving's already passed by the time you see this, so I hope you guys had a very fantastic Thanksgiving. Hopefully, you're still stuffed and you're probably tired of leftovers by now, like we are. But today we are going to be prepping for tomorrow, and on my list today to prep, I have cranberry sauce, stuffing, green bean casserole, candied yams. The candied yams, my mom would always bake them like on the day of Thanksgiving, but they're just so much better the next day, aren't they? So here I bake them. So then tomorrow, all I have to do is just reheat them because I got the turkey in the oven. And by the time that comes out, I just want to put everything in, get it warmed up so we can eat and everything is nice and hot. So that's always a plus. I'm also going to be doing a potato salad, macaroni salad, deviled eggs, and then, of course, we got to bake some pumpkin pies. So the first thing I got to do is I got to get out to the garden to go dig up some. Are they sweet potatoes or are they yams? I don't know whichever one they are. But we're going to go dig some up. I hope I have some. If not, I have to head to the store. Let's go find out. All right, let me grab a shovel. Hey, Bandit, I see you running over there. These things were so neglected. Hi, Kitty, hi. These things were so neglected over the summer. I had one tiny one sprouting up right here. It's still neglected, you can tell by the weeds, but got some water. And then what I do is I just go through and cover them up with leaves for the winter, and they seem to keep making it. So this was where the original one was, so I'm going to try digging right here. I see. Oh, you know what? It looks like the dirt is raised up right here a little bit. I'm going to try right here. I don't see anything. Oh, wait, I got gloves. Oh, I do see something. I got my glove on. Well, I got a lot of helpers out here today. Look at that. Oh, wow. Oh, my gosh. Wow. Look at this sucker. Oh, my gosh. This side is like, oh, my gosh. Wow. That thing is huge. Last year we had one. It was like almost the size of a football field. Oh, look at the little babies, so cute. You know, I'm gonna cover them back up. Maybe they'll still grow. Okay. Now let's see if we can find another good size one. Let's see, I'm gonna try over here. So this one is coming up. Let's see. Yeah, maybe right up in here. Like, is that a little one? It's kind of hard to tell. Oh no, that's a pretty good size one. All right, and got another one right here. I'm actually going to bury this back down in there. Let that one grow. Okay. Cowboy, you're so cute. Like a cute cowboy. Are you playing? Do you want to play with that little kitten, but it's shy? I'm not sure how long this one's been in here. I think I'm going to leave this one a little longer. Alright. Alright guys, that's going to be plenty. We're going to take them in the house and prep them. Alright, I got these washed up outside a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and really wash them up well. And then try to decide if I think I'm just going to put them in the air fryer to bake, and then I will put them in. Then I'm going to do a candied. I like to bake them before I get them going into the candy. So let's get them washed up. And these will be peeled, but I just like to get as much of the dirt and that off as I can. Alright guys, we didn't actually get to decorate that much yet. That's as much as we've gotten up. My blue lights have to be fixed, but that's going to be a completely different other video. Right now I'm going to get ready to boil up potatoes for potato salad, and we're going to get the yams into the air fryer. Alright, this guy, he's too big, so I think I'm just going to peel them and just prep them for candied yams, and they're just going to bake longer in the oven. Alright, as I go along, I'm going to clean these up a little bit more. And because I didn't get to bake them prior, I'm going to cut them in smaller size pieces. I'm not worried about them being all the exact same size. So I've just been taking all the little pieces off, the yucky pieces off of the potato. Now it's time to tackle this big kahuna. Oh boy. I gotta pull out all the utensils for that one. All right, that is all chopped up. I am going to take some salt. And I'm going to sprinkle that over that. I like using Redmond salt. Now I'm going to sprinkle cinnamon. And I do this kind of by like when my soul tells me to stop. And we're going to mix these. Because for me, candied yams can never have enough cinnamon. I get some flavor into those potatoes. Well, that's fine. The door's open. Alright guys, we're going to check in on the potatoes. I'm going to turn them down a little bit. And I know this part's not done. We're going to flip them over. Oh, wow. Yeah, still got a long ways to go though. But you can see after you boil them how easily the skin comes off. So I'm just going to flip them over and we're going to let them go for a little while still. Alright guys, I got about 1.5 cups of brown sugar. I'm going to add 1/2 stick of butter, and then I'm just going to sprinkle in some more Looks like it's about a tablespoon at the moment. We may add more. And then I'm just going to mix this all together. Okay, and then we're just going to crumble up over the top. All right, and then we're going to cover this with foil, and I'm going to put it in the oven about 365. I'm going to cook it for about 40 minutes, and then we're going to check on it. You know, sometimes no matter how hard you plan, you got to stop and run to the store because you forgot something. Thought I had enough, but I didn't. Had to turn everything off, so I got everything back on now. It's heating up, so now I got to really double time it. We weren't gone very long, so luckily everything is still warm. And also, my battery's getting low, so I had to plug it in. So if the volume is a little bit different, I apologize. But now I want to check these potatoes to see how they're doing. Okay, oh yeah, that looks pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and take these out so they'll start cooling. Oof, goodness. Alright guys, I got the water boiling for the deviled eggs, so I'm going to get ready to put the eggs in there to get them hard boiled. Okay, I'm going to set the timer for, I got the timer set. Okay, we're going to have to grab another timer. Yeah, we'll just do 10. Alright, we're going to set the timer for 12 minutes. Alright guys, we're going to get ready to roll the pie crust out so I can get these in the refrigerator to kind of chill back before we get them in the oven. Alright, and I got ice and water from the refrigerator so we can get those to stop cooking. I have a handle that comes off my rolling pin, but she's my favorite. What can I say? I think this is the first year I've actually tried homemade pie crust. We have the homemade pie crust and then the pumpkin that we baked and pureed to put in. So very excited. Hope this pie turns out well. I am trying a new pie recipe. I'm trying the one from Becky from Acre Homestead. It just looks so good. So we're going to give it a try. Again, guys, this is my first homemade pie crust, so it's a learn as you go process. Okay, so to tear this off, we're gonna add it on a little bit over here. once you're getting to get the hang of it. All right, not too bad. That'll be hidden by some hopefully delicious pumpkin pie. All right, I'm gonna put this one in the refrigerator. All right, unfortunately, I do not have quite enough pumpkin, so I'm defrosting that right now. So while I'm waiting for that to defrost, we're gonna get started on the green bean casserole. All right, guys, I'm gonna start out with about a half a can of soup. Okay, that was, I guess we're gonna do the whole thing since it all plopped out. It'll be extra creamy. And then what I like to do is I like to take a little bit of the green bean juice and just add it in there. Then I like to add a little milk. I have half and half, and I'm gonna use this up. I'm gonna pour that in. And we're gonna mix. And a little bit more milk, just so it gets a little bit thinner. This one is a family tradition, and I'm all about like food and tradition. My mom and grandma have both passed away, but like when I make this stuff that they made for us when we were young, it's just like they're still here in a way. All right, that looks pretty good. Gonna add our beans. And we're gonna mix. Not making too much because I think Joseph and I are pretty much the only ones that eat it, but I just gotta make it still. Gotta make it. Make sure everything's nice and coated. Alright, I sprayed the edge of the pan just to hopefully make cleanup a little bit easier. Flatten it out. I went with this size pan so tomorrow after I heat it up I could put the French fried onions on and it's like evenly distributed. This isn't going to take too long to cook though. I'm going to put some foil on it and cook it for about 20 minutes. Alright, the timer went off on our candied yams, so I'm going to take the foil off and see how it's looking. Oh yeah, they're doing pretty good. I think now I'm going to take the foil off. I'm going to save it because we're going to put it back on later. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go in and give it a nice stir. Oof. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little one out and let it cool off for a minute, and then I'm going to give it a taste and see if I want to add any more salt, any more cinnamon, or brown sugar. That is pretty good. I think we're going to go with a little bit more salt and a little bit more cinnamon, I think. Well, all right, I gave the juice syrup a little bit of taste. It's perfect. Not too sweet. Plenty of cinnamon. So good. So I'm going to put it back in uncovered, and we're going to check it in about 30 minutes. The recipe calls for 15 ounces of pumpkin puree. This is supposed to make one pie, so I've doubled it. I have 30 ounces. Go ahead. I have 6 eggs all together. I'm going to leave the recipe linked below if you want to check it out. Here. 2 cups of brown sugar. going to add some vanilla. The recipe doesn't call for it, but I did see her add some into the recipe. Two teaspoons of salt. And 2 cups of cream. Pumpkin pie spice. Where did I put it? Alright, then it calls for 2 tablespoons of pumpkin pie spice. I'm going to add 1.5 to start with. Now a little bit more. And then I'm going to also add some cinnamon. I love cinnamon. Alright guys, I got the pies in the oven and I need room in there, so I'm now going to transfer the candied yams into this dish and then I'm going to finish cooking them in this. All right, I'm gonna get the cranberry sauce going. I got 3 cups of cranberries. All right, then we're gonna add 1.5 cups of water. And 2 cups of sugar. And we're gonna boil. Boy, that looks like a lot of sugar. I guess we're doing pretty well. Let's see, we got the cranberry sauce cooking, the stuffing. Tradition, what can I say? And I still stuffed the bird. Got the cranberry sauce cooking, green moon casserole is done, the yams are cooking, the pumpkin pies are cooking, and then we have a birthday party to go to later, so I have just about an hour to do a little bit more because I gotta feed animals before we go. So I'm gonna really try to get these salads done before we go. I'm gonna get the macaroni starting to boil and start chopping the stuff up for them. The stuffing, if nothing else, I will cook that up tonight after I get back, so it's cool and I can stuff the bird in the morning and get it into the oven. So let's wrap this up. One nice thing about these salads is they basically take the same ingredients, it's the same dressing for both, so that makes it super easy when I can just go through and chop everything all at once. Alright guys, real quick, I'm going to take my yams out and see how they're looking. Oh yeah, they're looking good. I'm going to give them a little stir. When they bake, I like to make sure that the juice is really coating all of the potato. I think that's good actually. I think we're gonna leave it out and then we will finish it off tomorrow. Really making sure that it's all getting covered. I'm gonna push this back, let it cool off, and then I will cover it with aluminum foil and put it in the refrigerator. Next is our pickles. I do feel like the pickles are the star of the show in salads. It really gives everything a lot of flavor. Here are cranberries popping. All right guys, first we're gonna turn our cranberry sauce down. They're popping. Yeah, just let them cook for a little bit. And then also we're 40 minutes into the pies, so I just want to give them a little check. I imagine it's going to take about an hour. Oh yeah, but they are looking good. Let's see if we can. They are looking pretty good. Yeah, they're definitely, I don't want to move them too much because they're still setting. We're going to give about 15 minutes and then check back in. All right. And then I like to add a little bit of red onion to the potato salad. All right, our water's now boiling. I'm going to add the noodles. And keep an eye on that. While I'm over here, I'm going to go ahead and start giving these a little bit of squish, mashing them down, and then I'm basically just going to turn it down to low until it gets to the thickness that I want it to. Okay, I'm just going to go any on the top. I just really want to make sure that they popped. You know, just tasting that cranberry sauce, and I just feel like it needs a little bit of lemon, just something to kind of make it pop a little bit. So I'm just going to add a squeeze of lemon, see how it tastes. Oh yeah, very good. Turn that to low. I gotta wrap this up, guys, because my macaroni's just about done. Alright guys, now we're gonna throw the dressing together, and it calls for 1 cup, but I find that especially the macaroni, it really soaks up a lot of the sauce, and I like it saucy. I don't like a dry salad. So I'm actually going to put in one and a half. So we're kind of like doing 1.5 times the amount. Okay, so this is going to be the potato salad. So I'm going to do 1.5. And then for the macaroni, I'm going to double it because it really takes a lot of dressing. how much sugar do I need? 2 tablespoons. 1, 2, 3. This is 1.5 times. 1, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just realized I grabbed a half a tablespoon instead of a whole tablespoon. So 1, 2, 3. The recipe originally calls for 1 cup of mayonnaise, 2 tablespoons of sugar, 2 tablespoons of mustard, and 1/4 cup of vinegar. Got that. Wait, don't I have a tablespoon in here? Of course not. All right. So we want the same amount of mustard. All right. So this is going to be 4. 1, 2. Man, I used a lot of. 3, 4. Okay, and that's 1/4 cup of vinegar plus 1/2 for this one, and then 2 for this one. All right, guys, we're gonna check the pies because they are getting ready to go off in a minute. All right, get up here. All right. Yeah, not quite. I'm gonna go another 10. And I'm wondering if I should cover my foil up. I'm gonna go a few more minutes and we'll see how it does. All right, I want to get the macaroni in here first. So I'll just give this a good whisk. Plus I did make more salad than I normally do. All right. I'm going to take half of the celery, half of the pickles, and mix. I like to actually add my macaroni in while it's warm because, you know, to me the macaroni absorbs the flavor when it's warm. And the dressing will start cooling it off. I'm gonna add some pepper, salt, and give it a taste. Very good. Tastes very good. Okay. I'm going to put this into a smaller bowl so I can put it into the refrigerator, and that one's done. All right, now we're going to do the potato. right, we're now going to peel the potatoes, give them a rough chop, and add them to the salad, and that one's done. See how easy it is to peel it once they're boiled? Anything that makes something easier, I am all for. All right, now got our potato added. We're gonna add some pepper, salt, and stir. Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit more salt. And now I'm just gonna mash it up just a little bit so I have chunks in there, but it's just like different textures. All right guys, I'm gonna get these into bowls and the pie should be just about done and I have to finish up so I can get out of here. All right guys, it's time to get this big boy into the roaster. No packet in here today? Oh, wow. Okay, no packet. That's interesting. Alright guys, I just like to use a little bit of olive oil just to rub the turkey down a little bit. And some salt and pepper. And garlic and onion powder. Alright guys, I did my stuffing up last night. It's just stovetop cornbread. I'll put a picture up here so you can check it out. It's 4 boxes, so I'm now going to stuff my turkey. You know, it's called stuffing for a reason. Just saying. So whatever I cannot fit in the turkey, I will cook up in a side dish because Joe doesn't like his stuffing in the turkey. He likes it on the side. So even though he ends up eating my stuffing anyways, but we're not gonna say that. I just feel like this is what gives the turkey such a good flavor. And the gravy, oh, the gravy. Oh my gosh. Now why would they hide it like that? That's just so wrong. And yes, my mom stuffed both ends. All right, I got a little left here for Joe, and we're gonna get this puppy in the oven. Yeah, buddy, I'm just getting the turkey in the oven. Look how old this thing is. This was my grandmother's, my great-grandmother's. Me and Joseph were discussing how many turkeys. Oh boy, lid barely fits on. Me and Joseph were discussing how many turkeys must have been cooked in this roaster, and we're guessing probably at least like 100 at this point. And I got the oven set at 365, and I'll probably turn it down to 350 in probably 2 hours. All right, guys, prepare for a delicious smelling house. All right, guys, the turkey's been in the oven for a few hours. I have done dishes, I've cleaned, and now it's time to finish up the food. And the next thing I'm going to do are the deviled eggs, and then I checked my salads, and the macaroni salad still did not have enough dressing. I did more than I normally do, so I'm just going to make like a half of recipe to rehydrate that a little bit. So we're going to do deviled eggs and the salad mix. I guess I'm going to rinse these off real quick. Alright guys, first I'm going to get the salad dressing done. So I need a half a cup of mayonnaise. 1 tablespoon of sugar, 1 tablespoon of mustard, and 1/8 of a cup of vinegar. Alright, there's no way I'm going to be able to stir this in this bowl, so I'm just going to dump it back in here. And you can kind of see, I don't know, for me this is too dry. Now we're going to save the bowl because we're going to put it back in there. Yeah, is that going to be enough? Yeah, I think that should be good. That looks better. Yeah, I think that's good. Alright, and I'm going to use the bowl that the stuffing is in, so I am just going to, probably use the smaller bowl. Put this in here. Again, I have a big bowl for a little amount of stuff. Alright, I'm just going to give this a mash. This is actually the first time I've probably ever made deviled eggs. My mom used to make it all the time, and then she would just bring it with her. And then when she got older, she stopped making it. I don't know really why I didn't start, but we're doing it today. This is probably one of my favorite tools in the kitchen. I mean, it really just scrapes everything from the bowl. You do not miss much in with this. I have this cute little deviled egg platter. I think I just made these just so I could use the platter. I'm going to eat this one too, just to make sure it tastes okay. No, actually, I decided I'm going to put my olives in the middle, so it's in my way. I'm going to save some of the olives back. Man, it's really starting to feel like Thanksgiving now. Alright, I'm going to lightly cover this, put it in the refrigerator, and then we are going to start on our dinner rolls. This is my little recipe book where I have tried recipes over the years from Pinterest or wherever I found them, and it's something we make over and over and over again, so it goes into this book. This is my dinner roll recipe. I will try to link it below. Alright, we're going to be making a double batch, so I'm going to need 3 cups of milk. I'm going to warm this up in the microwave, not too hot, it's just a little bit more than room temperature. Alright guys, while I was heating the milk up, it actually took me 2 minutes to warm it up to the temperature that I wanted. I did it in 30-second increments and stirred it so it doesn't get too hot. Now that it is... Did I say I got everything ready to go? I'm getting tired. Okay, I like to do these in 2 different bowls because if you get too much, it is just too hard to stir. It's too hard to knead. So I'm just going to divide it into half now. Now I'm going to add 2, let me double check. Yes, 2 tablespoons of yeast to the milk. Okay. And now I'm going to add the honey. I like to use honey in my dinner rolls, but if you add honey or sugar to yeast, it helps to get it activated. What I like to do, so my honey doesn't stick, is I'll just pour some butter in there, like that, and then pour it back in. And then my honey will slide right out. So we're going to put 1/3 cup honey in each of these measuring cups. Honey requires a lot of patience, doesn't it? Alright, now we're just going to drizzle this in here like so. Make sure it all comes out. You see? There's hardly anything in there. And I don't have the patience again, so we're just going to go like this. There we go, so much better. Gonna set these to the side. Alright guys, because this calls, can I put this in? Let me bring it this way. Alright, but this calls for 4 to 5 cups of flour. So I just got out my big bag of flour. And I'm just gonna dump these in. I'm going to do about 4.5. Do I normally put in 5? I'm going to do 4.5. I can't remember today, of course. And then I'm going to keep 1 cup out so I know if I need half a cup in each still. If I need a little bit more, I have flour up here. And I'm out of my Redmond salt, so I'm just going to have to use some regular Morton salt from the store. I've got to order some more up. 1 teaspoon in each bowl. All right, bread, yeast, honey, salt, milk, butter, eggs. All right, guys, we're ready. Wow, we're ready to make a mess, evidently. I'm going to give both of these a stir. We'll start with this one. I like to mix my egg up before I add it in. Scramble it up a little bit. Alright, I'm going to add our butter. And 1 of the milk. I'm going to pour some in, but I want to come in and really stir to make sure I'm getting all that honey mixed up in there. And we're going to mix flour, yeast, honey, salt, milk, butter, eggs. Never hurts to double, triple check. Alright, and I can already tell this is going to need more flour. I must normally put 5. Let's put in a half. And we're going to make some room to knead. I think I am going to need it a little bit. I might have to add a little bit more flour. And then we're going to knead this for 5 minutes. From start to finish, it usually takes me 2 hours. I know it sounds like a lot, but you're going to come in, use your ingredients. You're going to knead it, let it set for a half hour. Knead it once, let it set for a half hour, and then you form your dough. You form your rolls, put it in the pan, and then just let it rise. So once you do this a couple of times, it becomes fairly easy. Alright guys, I'm going to sprinkle this with a little bit of flour on top. I'm going to put some plastic wrap, let it sit to the side, and I'm going to do the same thing to the other one. I'm actually going to set it over here by the stove so it rises. Alright guys, I think it's time to peek in on the turkey and see how it's looking. Okay. Oh wow. I think it's done, guys. Looks like it's falling apart. I'm going to put that in. Come on. There we go. Let's see. Gonna give it a minute. Let's see, poultry all the way up to 185. Is it gonna make it? Is it gonna make it? I think it's gonna make it. All right. Boy, now I really need some. Ooh. My juice spilled over. Okay. This is something that I do not normally do, but I saw this on Acre Homestead, and I thought it would be so great. They do their mashed potatoes, and then they just put it in a crock pot so it stays warm, which is fantastic because at the end, I'm over here trying to make mashed potatoes, trying to make gravy, keeping an eye on the dinner rolls, and this will be one less thing that I have to deal with. And yes, as tradition, we use instant mashed potatoes. You gotta stick with tradition. Alright, I'm going to make, oh, that says the entire box. That doesn't even give me a measurement. That's interesting. Hope I have that or not. Alright, I have that. Alright, where is my big measuring cup? Alright, so I'm going to need 9 cups of liquid together between the water and the milk. And it calls for 6 cups water, 3 cups milk, but I like to do half and half. I actually like to do a little bit more milk than water. So I'm going to do 4 cups water, 5 cups milk. 4 cups of water. Now I normally don't put half and half, but I'm out of room in my refrigerator and I need this to go. So I'm going to use a little bit of half and half today. Alright, butter, 9 tablespoons. Alright guys, I got 4 cups of water, 5 cups of milk, 9, what do we got here? Teaspoons? Tablespoons. 9 tablespoons of butter. What do we need next? 2 1/4 teaspoons of salt. 1, and then I'm just putting it over a little bit. That'll be the 1/4. Alright guys, for my grandmother's secret ingredient, that's right, they got nicknamed peppery mashed potatoes. And she did not hold back. Alright, we're going to whisk this together and we're going to let it heat up and then we'll add the mashed potatoes. And then when they're done, I'm going to put them into my crock pot, which I have warming right now. Alright guys, while we're waiting for the mashed potatoes liquid to warm up, I am going to give this a knead. I'm adding just a little bit more flour because it kind of looks like it needs. And I did also forget to mention I got my candied yams into the oven to heat up. Alright, and then I'm just going to cover it back up for another half hour. And we do this little stir. And it looks like it's just about ready. Alright guys, I think that's going to be good by the time it's done in the crock pot. Should be perfect. Let's move it over. Alright. Hold still, hold still. There we go. Turn this so you guys can see it. going to add a little bit more butter on the top. But yeah, that's really good. And that's one less thing I got to do later. All right, lid on. Family tradition, going for the corn. I think that's going to be plenty because I always have a ton of corn left over. And I'm going to cover it with water. Turn that on and try to find a lid. I guess we're going without a lid for right now. All right, guys, I'm going to clean this up, and the next thing we're going to do is get our dinner rolls ready. All right, guys, our company is going to be arriving soon, so from here on out, I'm probably just going to be doing a voiceover over everything because I don't want to be rude, and this is what the day is all about, spending our time with our family and enjoying them and being grateful. So let's finish up. All right, guys, here I start making the dinner rolls into rolls. I cut them up, and I'm not really precise. Some are big, some are small. I'll put the smaller ones in the middle so they don't take as long to cook. But I just take the dough and I take the edge and bring it towards the middle and then just keep going all the way around, kind of like kneading it. And then I'll take my hands and kind of tuck the dough up underneath itself. Put it in the pan and let it rise for about 20 to 30 minutes. Now I'm going to start taking everything out of the oven. I'm going to start with the green bean casserole. I take the aluminum foil off and then take the French fried onions and spread them on top. And about 5 minutes before everything was ready, I popped them back in the oven just to brown them on the top a little bit. I'm now going to get ready to take the candied yams out of the oven. I'm going to give them a little bit of stir just to get them all mixed up. And then for my gravy, unfortunately, I didn't get to film that, but it was just your regular flour, roux, and then I took the juice from the turkey pan and made a gravy, and it turned out really, really well. Hey guys, I'm so sorry. I don't think I got the gravy. It just got crazy with company, and I wasn't able to film that part. So I'm going to show you the aftermath, though, of what it looks like. All right, you see we got a good dent in the mashed potatoes. That's good. Our stuffing. Good. I still have more turkey over here. This was just what I put out on the serving platter. And the candied yams. Oh, they turned out so good. This was one of the dinner rolls. And then we have our healthy corn and our gravy. This was the rest of the turkey. And then we still have all these dinner rolls. So I'm going to pack up stuff to send home.